Hello guys, welcome back to Car Obsession and welcome to another walk around. This week I'm joined by the brand new Kia ProCeed GT. So as always, I will take you around the car, give you my initial thoughts on it and also talk you through the specification. Now if I sound a little bit lispy or a little bit mumbly in this video, I do apologise. I currently have 6 mouth ulcers, so it is actually quite painful to talk. So that's probably a good thing for you guys because it means I won't waffle on as much, or hopefully I won't waffle on as much. But anyway, I digress. So yes, here we go. The brand new Kia ProCeed GT. Now the old car was a 3-door hatchback, but this car is actually a 5-door shooting brake, and I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Now I know design will always be subjective, but I think this is a really smart looking car. It's sleek, it's svelte, but at the same time it looks aggressive and sporty. Now this is of course the GT model, so you do get the sportier touches. So if I come to the front grille, you will see, well hopefully see, that you have red accents in it. I think it looks superb. Bit difficult to get on camera, but hopefully you can see what I mean. And you've also got the GT logo as well to help differentiate this model from the standard ProCeeds. Now this model is finished in fusion white, and I like the fact that it's contrasted by the black and red touches. So if I come down here to the side skirt, you'll see you've got splashes of black and red, and as you guys probably know, I do like a bit of black and red. So yes, that is a big tick. Well done, Kia. And you get a very similar design for the front bumper. So this car is lower and longer compared to the Ceed hatchback and the Ceed sports wagon, but the wheelbase is exactly the same, and so is the width. So the actual footprint of the car is the same as what you get from the Ceed hatchback or the Ceed sports wagon, but yes, it is a longer car. Now if we come to the back, you will see the rear it's quite similar to a Porsche Panamera, which is by no means a bad thing, but yes, it does kind of look like that Kia got a Panamera and put the rear of it through a photocopier and basically said, yeah, that'll do, well I have that. But joking aside, I do think the rear looks good. I do have a gripe though. So as you can see, you've got twin exhausts. Well, you can't really see it on that side, the lighting's too bad, that's better. But if we actually come down, you will see these are fake. So if I get you in there, there we go, that's where the real exhaust pipe is. I won't touch it because it'll still be hot. But overall, I think it is a smart looking car. So as I mentioned, you've got the fusion white paintwork. As standard, you get 18-inch alloys, which I think look rather good. And you've also got red brake calipers to give you a bit more sportiness. And wrapped around the alloys, you have Michelin Pilot Sport 4 tyres. So yeah, Kia hasn't, their brand hasn't held back when it has come to the rubber. So this car is on decent tyres. Let me take you inside the car. As standard, this car has got keyless entry. So if I hit the little black square, does it say black square? Black square? I can't get my words out, guys. I do apologise, but you've got a little black square. In fact, it's more of a black rectangle, isn't it? And that gives you access to the inside of the car. As standard, you get these wonderful sport seats, which are trimmed in faux suede and leather. You've got lots of red stitching and red accents, and you've also got the red GT logo in here as well. They are comfortable and supportive, so yeah, they are good seats. Now, some other reviewers have moaned about the inside because it is quite, not basic, it's quite similar to the standard ProCeed, and some may want a bit more kind of flair in here, but I think it is a nice place to be. Now you've got a steering wheel wrapped in leather with red stitching, and you've got the GT logo at the bottom there. Let's get my autofocus sorted. And of course, it is a flat bottom as well, which I do rather like. I know some people don't like it that much because when you're feeding the steering wheel, it can be a little bit more awkward. But I think, you know, for a sporty car, you know, I was going to say you need a flat bottom steering wheel, but you don't need it. But I think it is a nicer touch. Anyway, let me step inside. I will do so carefully to make sure I don't bend the wire on my clip-on microphone because they can be incredibly fragile. Oh, I wasn't quite expecting that. But yes, the inside is a nice place to be. Yeah, okay, it hasn't got a lot of flair to it, but I think it is put together very nicely. You've got soft touch materials on here. I know some of you don't really care about soft touch dashboard and you wonder why I go on about it, but it just makes the inside a bit more premium and a bit nicer to be in. So yeah, that's nice soft touch. All of the buttons, they feel well made. They've got a nice amount of damping to them. And in fact, all of them, the materials in here, they do feel of a very good quality. You've got gloss black plastics, got silver trim here, got alloy for the flappy paddles. Now, just a quick one. This car is not available with a 6-speed manual. You can only have the 7-speed automatic. So let's show you the gear selector down here. Again, it's made with pleasing materials. Now, I haven't mentioned how much this car costs. So this car starts from £28,140, which, if I'm honest, is a bit more than I would have anticipated, but you do get a fair amount for your money. So hit the engine stop button to get the infotainment system on. That will stop. There we go. So you have an 8-inch touchscreen with navigation, smartphone connectivity, Bluetooth and DAB radio. You've also got a reversing camera, which oh, sorry guys, I thought you had to have the engine on to activate it, because in some cars you do, but in this car you don't. As you can see, you've got the rear view camera. I won't lie, the resolution isn't the highest, and the clarity, in my opinion, could be a little bit better. It's a little bit grainy, and the quality isn't fantastic, but it will be enough to stop you from bumping into things. And you've also got front and rear parking sensors, which is pretty good. Pop the car back into park. The touchscreen is, it's responsive, it works well, and I actually think it's a very good touchscreen indeed. The only thing I will say is the design, the display, is a little bit bland. It almost looks as if it is black and white, but it isn't. It is. Oh, I need to go back. It is a colour system, but yeah, I would just want a little bit more panache if I'm going to be picky. You do also have a fair few amount of buttons in here, but not too many. I think Kia has got it just right. Although, if it were up to me, my personal choice, I would want a little less. But like I say, it's not too much, and all of the buttons are very easy and they are very straightforward. So you've got a button for radio, marked radio. You've got a button for media, marked media. You've got one for nav, marked nav. It's very straightforward. I've also got dual zone climate control. So adjust it like so. Pretty standard stuff. I've got heated front seats and a heated steering wheel. And I've also got goodies such as LED headlights, LED rear lights. I've got a park assist system. As you can see, that's the button for the parking sensors. I've got a sport button. So that makes the car, it makes it more responsive. You get a louder engine note. Guys, I do apologise if I'm kind of fumbling my words. Like I said, it is rather painful to speak, so please do bear with me. But yeah, you do get a fair amount of kit as standard. But yeah, let's talk about the rest of the cabin. You get silver details and gloss black details on the grab handles for the door, and you get more red stitching as well. So some do say the inside doesn't really have much of an occasion, but I like it personally. But obviously that is subjective. Now let's talk about the storage. The door bins aren't massive, but I have been able to fit in a 750 millilitre bottle of water, which is just there, with a bit of space left over for one or two snacks. Just realised I've dragged loads of dirt into the car. That's quite annoying. You have 2 cup holders in the middle, like so. I've got a 500 milliliter bottle of water in there, but these are too small for my larger bottle of drink. And if you don't want to use the cup holders, you've got this trim that slides across to make the inside look a little bit more cleaner. You've got a slot here which is quite small. I don't really know what you could put in there. You can kind of fit the car key in there, but yeah, it's not a particularly big slot. You've got a shelf here where you can pop your smartphone. It's quite handy. Sorry guys, you can't really see it too well. I'll tell you what, let me take you off my handheld tripod. So yeah, so you have a little shelf here where you can pop the smartphone or a few other smaller items. A compartment here where, as you can see, you've got 2 USB ports because you've got one underneath here. You've got an auxiliary port and you've also got a 12-volt socket. But if you don't want to use this area, you have this gloss black trim which press it and it slides across. So again, it gives you a nice cleaner look for the inside. Let's pop my USB lead back in. Right, let's talk about getting a good driving position. The steering wheel adjusts for rake and reach like so. So it's quite easy to get comfortable. Pop it back a little bit. And the driver's seat has also got a good level of adjustment, but it is manual. You don't get an electric adjustment for the driver's seat, or indeed any of the seats in here. Well, I say any of the seats, obviously, I mean this seat or the passenger seat. But anyway, I'm starting to talk rubbish. Right, let me get into the back. Oh, actually, I forgot to show you the glove box. Glovebox offers a decent amount of space, but quite a lot of it is taken up by the very thick manual. That's the press pack for the car. Pop that away like so. And you've also got a cubby hole underneath the front centre armrest, which offers a decent amount of space. Right, speaking of space, let me step into the back and I can show you rear space. Let's turn that off. That'll keep going because I've got the door open. It will stop in a minute. So as always, the driver's seat has been set for me. I'm 6'2", so I am of course a taller chap. Now, some other reviewers have moaned about space in the back and they've said it's quite tight, and to be honest, I don't quite agree with them. Now, yes, I haven't got acres of knee room or leg room, but I do have enough. Do I feel cramped back here? No, I don't. So yeah, I think some other reviewers have kind of exaggerated how tight it is back here, because, you know, I'm 6'2" and I've got a decent enough amount of space. Let me show you from the side. So if I just do that, you'll see that I do have a bit of space to play about with. So yeah, I don't really quite understand. And also others have moaned about the rear headroom. Well, again, as I've said, I'm 6'2" and yeah, I know I haven't got loads of headroom, but I've got enough. They're probably difficult for you to see because I've got dark hair and I've got the black roof lining, but yeah, I've got one or two inches to spare. So not loads of space, but again, I think the rear headroom has been, well, the kind of lack of rear headroom issue has been exaggerated somewhat. However, I do think it will be difficult to fit 3 adults back here. The middle seat, as you would expect, is quite slim. Granted, the transmission tunnel is relatively minimal, so that's not too bad. But yeah, I think fitting 3 adults back here would be a bit of a squeeze. But if you don't happen to have 3 occupants in the back, the other rear occupants can make use of this armrest for better comfort, and you've also got 2 cup holders in there as well for better practicality. Marvellous. Right, let's have a look at the boot. Now, one of the advantages of this car compared to its predecessor is because of its new body shape, you do of course get a bigger boot. Now, it's not automatic, so you have to do it the old school way. And as always, I've got all of my filming crap in there, plus the lighting is pretty bad. So I will cut away to a clip where the boot is empty and you can see it in better light. But what you are looking at is 594 litres worth of space, which is 50% more than the Ceed hatchback, but it is a little bit less than the sports wagon because of the swooping roofline and the kind of more coupe design to this car. So it is quite a big boot, I'm sure you'll agree. The load lip is quite low, but there is a step into the boot. So if you want to load heavier or larger items, you may find it to be a little bit tricky, but I don't think it'll be too bad. Now, if you want more space, you can, of course, fold down the 60/40 rear seats to give you 1,545 litres. So, again, plenty of space. And what's quite handy is underneath the boot floor, you have hideaways. So, look at that, look how deep that is. And again, I can't really lift this up, but as you can see, you've got compartments underneath the boot floor, which is quite handy. You can pop things out of sight, or if you want to kind of compartmentalize things, you can do so, and keep the boot more organized and tidy. And last but not least, is there a 12-volt socket in here? No, I don't believe there is. Okay. But yes, last but not least, you do have a luggage cover. So again, that kind of hides your items out of sight. I'll be honest, I normally find these to be quite fiddly, but this one isn't too bad actually. But yes, and there we go. There is the boot. So let me finish, of course, with the engine. Pop the boot down like so. The bonnet release is just here. And this is always the fun bit, trying to find the catch. There we go, I've got it. So guys, what you were looking at is the same 1.6 litre turbocharged petrol used in the last ProCeed GT, and it offers the same amount of power, so don't think this car is any faster, because, well, it isn't. You have 201 brake horsepower with 265 Newton meters of torque. As I've mentioned, this can only be fed to a 7-speed automatic, and power is fed to the front wheels. In regard to performance, you'll hit 60 miles per hour in 7.2 seconds, which is a little bit faster than the previous car because of the automatic gearbox. And the top speed is 140 miles per hour. But what about economy? Well, on a combined run, Kia states this car can offer 39.3 mpg, and in my experience, I've pretty much got that. I've been getting around 37 mpg, so not too bad at all. And in regards to CO2, this car emits 133 grams per kilometre, so for the first year of VED, you'll be expected to pay £210. And there we have it. Right, just pop the bonnet down. Make sure I'm not going to squash that bumblebee, it's on the car. I've got a spider crawling on me as well. Oh, the great outdoors. So, there we have it guys, the Kia ProCeed GT. There will of course be a comprehensive review coming in a week or so, or whenever I get around to editing it. In the meantime, if you have any questions or queries, or if there's anything I've missed out that you'd like to know more about, please do let me know. But I feel like I have missed something, but hopefully I've covered everything that you would want to know about. But yes, there will be a review coming. If I can, I may do a video talking about the infotainment system and the kind of technology in the car. So I'll have to see how today goes, because yeah, I must admit, as I've said, my mouth is quite painful. But anyway, that's probably a good time for me to end. So, flip you guys around. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed it, or I hope you have found it useful. If so, please do give it a massive thumbs up. If you are subscribed, don't forget to click that bell icon so you get notified every time I make a video. And if you aren't subscribed, guys, what are you waiting for? Be sure to subscribe for more car obsession.